My blissful gorgeous self, everybody knew Mother Ganga. Mother Ganga assumed the form of a beautiful river and was brought down from higher planes of universe by Maharaja Bhagirath, the king of Ayodhya. From him his state was governed after him his state was governed by his son Sruta, who was well trained in ruling and according to dharma, and he was master of martial arts and warfare. After 4 generations, Rituparna was born and ruled. After 3 generations, King Rituparna was born and ruled. After 3 generations, King Saudas was born. His grandson was Mulak, who was contemporary of Bhagavan Sri Parasuramji Maharaj. After 5th generation, Maharaja Khatwanga was born, my dear friends. He became a suzerain king of the world, so heroic and powerful that the celestials, the inhabitants, the warriors of celestial plane of existence, the heaven, chose to take him with them to help them from demons' invasions. He ruled his state through satellites. At last, when the heaven was free from all possible enemies, they requested the king Khatwanga to accept some boon from on his farewell. Okay? Well, King Khatwanga said, how much time of my life do I have? Only 48 minutes, dear sir. But don't worry, we can extend it as long as you wish. King Khatwanga said, no need, thank you for all. We warriors do not accept any return for our help. Help is always causeless and unconditional. So thank you very much. He said, and bade goodbye, my dear friend. Then he came to his capital fast and coronated his son and went to his meditation room, sat in pyramidal pose, and he addressed his vital energy to the cosmic hole on the top of the head, Brahmarandra, and left the body. Yattad Brahma Param Sukshmam Ashunyam Shunya Kalpitam Bhagavan Vasudeveti Yam Grananti Sattvata. King Khatwanga's soul levitated above the body and rose to unite with the intangible. It appears as cosmic void, but it is not just an emptiness. It feels like this only because senses and speech have no access to it. But something is therein, although unsubstantial, yet there is a transcendent reality which the devotees refer to as effulgent delight, Bhagavan Vasudeva. After him, King Dirghabahu became the king of Ayodhya, and his son was mighty King Raghu. And then his son, King Aja, was born, and he ruled as a suzerain emperor. And after him, his son, King Dashrath, became the suzerain lord of Ayodhya state. Their personality, their reign, their magnanimity and power are picturesquely described by poet Kalidas, who is considered the Shakespeare of India, in his book Raghuvansh, and also sage Valmiki and sage Agastya and sage Sutikshna, and Hanumanji's Ramayanas go in exciting details of their chronicles. Such are the wonders of solar dynasty, my dear friends. So, now, Bhagavan Sri Ram, now is the time to join the excitement and huge growth of consciousness in the festival of the narrations of Bhagavan Sri Rama's transcendental pastime. So here we go. Guruvarte tyakta rajyo vyacharadanuvanam padmabhagyam priyaya Panisparshakshamabhyam brajatapatarujo yore harindranujabyam Vairopya churpanakhya priyavirharusha ropitabhru vijrimba Trastabhir baddhasetu Khaladavadana kosalindro vatana. By the desperate request of the God, the Almighty Lord appeared on the earth as the sons of King Dasharath and his queen Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi, Sri Ram and Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughna, as effulgent sun of righteousness, as full-bloomed flower of amiability, as embodied soothing delight to the devotees, he rose sporting in the palace yard of Ayodhya, like a full moon meets a new full moon, like lotus meets a rose, like a vine embraces a tree. Princess Sita and Ram were wedded, and so were all three forms of him, with all three forms of hers. On the sacred day of their royal coronation, when the whole empire was bursting with the joy of festivity of seeing them as their new emperor and empress, redeeming the pledge of his father, he sacrificed his emperorhood and walked away as dawn on a morning walk. Sita and Lakshman followed. They roamed about forest to forest with their softest lotus petal feet, too soft even for the touch of the flower petals, hands of his beloved consort, Sita. They chopped off the ears and nose of Ravana's sister for her indecent advances, but it costed him torturous separation from his beloved wife Sita, my dear friends. His wrath rose like sky-high tides. He bridged the sea, fought a ferocious war, and the world witnessed all amazed the fantastic struggle, the timeless ambrosial embrace of Sita and Ram, which became perpetual and eternal, an everlasting gateway to plunge into the shoreless ocean of love. Love. Love for enlightenment. Sri Shukdev Maharaj sings, let the shoreless, unfathomable love of Sita and Ram Protect us from this unkind and mean world, my dear friend. Kosalendro Vatana, Kosalendro Vatana, Kosalendro Vatana. 1 million years ago, the city of Ayodhya was located right there where it is now. 96 miles long along the beaches of pearlish water-filled Sarayu river. It was 24 miles wide. At the center, for 16 square miles, mansions of statesmen and senators shining like pericord of a lotus. At the center of all petals, there stood King Dasharatha's sky-kissing huge palace surrounded by gardens and fountains and lawns. In that city, there was nobody who had no home, or no silk dresses, or costly ornaments, or lacking health, beauty, and intelligence, my dear friends. Members of philosophers' class, which means the Brahmanas, were scholars of the Vedas and Shastras and Puranas and Darshanas, with hundreds of disciples to teach. Each member of warrior class, the Kshatriyas, were as powerful who can win with a lion in dual fight without weapons. Members of businessmen's class, the Vaishyas, were so rich whose donations were never less but always more than 1,000 gold dollars. Every member of worker class, the Shudras, were so hard working and trustworthy to their employers as their own family members. They maintained their immensely prosperous status by working out for 3 hours a day. They loved their king of solar dynasty as their own father. The king satisfied, gratified and loved them even at the cost of his own life, my dear friends. In such a city, in such an integrated atmosphere, the king was coming out on procession, holding in his lap his emerald and sapphire complexioned handsome son, Prince Ram, and Queen Kaushalya, gold complexioned Lakshman, and Queen Sumitra, sapphire Bharat, and Kaikeyi, golden child Shatrugna. Sometimes elephant, other times open chariot, citizens crowded on the walkways, rooftops, windows, even on the treetop, to have a glimpse of this open distribution of life's ultimate fortune. Their hairs were combed, scented, they were dressed in colorful clothing, wearing ornaments, necklaces and rings and baby crowns, earrings, eyes ointed, Golochana pasted and forehead. They looked as if 4 costliest gems set on the flower petals. King Dashrath and his queen's royalty, elegance and glory were matchless. This sight is still seen by devotees in the sweet trances of their devotional trance called Bhava meditation or Bhava Vesh or Divyunmad. Now the river of the Leelas of Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra began to flow fast. Every day new events, now new miracles, Nagvashundi and Markandeya and Bhagavan Shiva and various yogis of the Himalayas came in very many forms with very many tributes in the yards, on the roof, on the lawn, in the royal assembly to see the transcendental pastimes of Bhagavan Sri Ram. The citizens came, ministers came, kings came from far distances. Yogis and rishis and munis came from the Himalayas, and celestials, the gods came assuming various forms of heaven, including birds and peacocks and deers and cows. At times, they would shower flower petals from their aerial cars. Dear Ram, oh you are so tired, you are yawning, your tiny jasmine bud teeth shimmering around your tongue, your large eyes closing. Ram, you now sleep right on this cradle, okay? Mother Kaushalya sing a lullaby. So ye ladile lala raghurai. Now mother is swinging him on the cradle and singing self-composed song, a lullaby. His curly hair, large eyes, and is jumping up to get a toy hanging on the wall. Strong perfume, celestial perfume is spreading. Bumblebees humming as if the hymns of the Vedas are singing the glory of Bhagavan Sri Ram. Chagana magana yangana खेलत चारो भाई ठुमुक पग धरनी नटनी लरखरनी सुहाए. Completely absorbed, all four brothers are playing on the palace yard, and mothers and their friends surrounded them. भजनी मिलनी रूठनी तूठनी किलकनी अवलोकनी बोलनी बरनी न जाए. Their baby tongues, their baby walks, their gargling, their dancing, their stumbling and running and meeting and disliking and laughing and gazing, all are so indescribably beautiful. Bhora bhayo jago Raghunandan. At times, early morning, Mother Kaushalya goes to wake up her baby. Oh my baby Ram, please wake up. Look, moon rays are faint, stars dim. Crows crowing, lotuses blooming, lilies blooming, bumblebees flying away in search of honey. And look, your friends have assembled at the door calling you, eager to see you. जागिए कृपा निदान जान राय रामचंद्र जननी कहे बार बार भोर भयो प्यारे. राजीव लोचन विशाल प्रीति वापिका मराल ललित कमल वदन ऊपर मदन कोटि वारे. Wake up, oh darling baby, oh merciful Ram. Look at the beauty of the morning, the beauty of sunrise, the fresh breeze. Oh my lotus-like baby, oh swan of the lake of love in my heart, look at the reddish baby sun, a reason to see you in the sky. Come out, walk on green grass, feel the dance dew, enjoy fresh breeze. Now Sri Ram has grown up a little, my dear friend. His friends are calling him to play on the beaches of Sarayu river. Khelan chaliye anand kan, holding toy bows and quiver, wearing warrior dress, shoes and necklaces and red cap. Passers' eyes get transfixed as deer to the flame, tightening their loins up, riding on horses. They are playing polo. Horses are running in all directions, chasing the ball. All brothers and friends are holding long sticks, and they are hitting the ball and laughing. King and queen with the ministers have come down and watching the sport. Hare Arasha होत ही भरत ही जिते सकुच सिर नयन नये. When Sri Ram loses the game and Bharatji wins, Bharatji's head bends low. He is shy, but Ram is happy. He laughs and shouts and gives Bharat a big hug. And when brother Ram is victorious and Bharat is the loser, here is then laughter rings from Bharat. And he is so happy. My brother won, he shouts. On the silvery sands of Sarayu river, on the lush green grass, under the bowers of vines and trees, with the chirping birds, dancing peacocks, frolicking monkeys, in the bushes of Pramodvan and Maniparvat, swinging in lakes and rivers. Thus 12 years passed, my dear friends. You may still even today see the looming, splashing, shimmering, illuminating, dazzling, transcendental leelas of Sri Ramchandra in Ayodhya, or even any part of the world, provided you know Ramayana very well. As at the age 12, the four brothers were admitted to Guru Vasishtha's Gurukul University, and there they learned all branches of knowledge just in 64 days, my dear friends. Back in the palace, they were participating in royal duties with their father. Thus they became youths of almost 16 years, my dear friends. Dear king, please give me your sons immediately. I need them desperately. One morning, Sage Vishwamitra came to the royal assembly and asked the king to give him his two sons, Prince Ram and Prince Lakshman. King was aghast, struck, stoned, and became motionless. Tears rolled down from his eyes, and he swooned right on his throne. Gurudeva's sister came down running, and he consoled the king and explained the purpose. Among the floods of tears of queens Tears of all palace attendants and citizens of Ayodhya gave farewell to their darling princess. It was the custom of those days, born in Kshatriya race, you must walk out for protection of the holy cows and sages and saints and the human being, even when you are kids. Even when you are just kids. Along with the rishis, both brothers walked on the forest path. Out of curiosity of their young age, they would leap into some lake and swim and ascend onto some rock and see the beauty of nature. Vishwamitra taught them Bala Atibala wisdom, a mystic supersonic part of archery, supersonic weapons, and they demonstrated their skill by finishing ferocious, monstrous Tadaka. Tadaka with a single shot. They guarded the week-long mystic yajna, the fire yoga, and destroyed the flocks of invincible skywalker demons. Now they are on their way to Mithila. Pulakata rishi avalokya mita chavi urana samati prem ki bhi. The sages fell looking at inconceivable beauty and power. The love and joy in his heart overflows. Bhaitata vimala silani vitapanitar puni puni varanata chaha sabir. Playfully walking, making new scenes, plucking lotuses, herbs, fragrant leaves, drinking nectarine water of ponds, and resting under the shadow of trees. They speak, looking at them. Peacocks are dancing, cuckoos and parrots and swans are singing. On the way, there is erupted the stonified Lady Ahilya. Gratefully offering prayer, she travelled through space to unite with her husband Maharshi Gautam, and they covered some more distance. Now they are in Mithila, where Princess Sita lives. The group stayed in a mango grove outside the city wall. As soon as King Janaka heard the news of arrival of legendary historic warrior king of neighborhood, who became a sage, has extended his lifetime into a million years, he rushed to welcome him with his ministers and senators and priests. King Janak was famous as Videha, one who, due to predominance of his Brahmic reality, remains oblivious of existence of physical reality, including his body and his related things and people. But as soon as he saw the two princes, Sri Ram and Lakshman, then what happened? Dekha Ram Lakhana निमेष विथकित भई प्राण होते प्यारे लागे बिनु पहचाने हैं. He gazed and gazed winklessly without even equidness. They felt as if dearer than his soul. With utmost request, they were hosted in the royal guest house next to the royal garden called Bagh. The king asked, Holy Sire, Who are these emeraldian and golden illuminations? Are they princes or philosophers? Are they embodied absolute reality or super soul? Are they pearls from the sea of beauty or the very